Hey everybody, Dr. Sanderson here. Welcome to our week one. So class is officially underway. And this week, or in this unit, our topic is going to be the culture of youth sports. So, I'm interested to see just in the icebreaker discussion forum what each of your experiences was with youth sports growing up, but just to tell you a little bit about mine and how frankly different it is from the way things are today. So, I mean, for me, really just played whatever youth sports were available through the city recreation league. I don't remember us ever going to a sporting goods store to buy baseball gloves or basketball shoes or baseball bats. And so, I think one thing that's really different about youth sports today is just how much equipment and advice and training is out there. I just don't remember those things. They may have been there, but I just don't remember them. In fact, I just remember, baseball. We had a random bat laying around in our garage, and I actually used one of my dad's gloves from high school. So here I am, a kid playing with a glove from the 1960s. So, not the greatest of experiences, and definitely not anywhere close to what I experience today, being on the other end of it as a dad, where, pretty much spending a good amount of my time at Dick's and Academy, really being very specific and precise with the equipment that we buy and so forth. So, really just think it's a great subject for us to be studying, because I think it's really changed in the past 20 or 30 years. Some of you, I imagine, played travel or select ball as kids, and I think that system has really gotten much more pronounced and much more popular. Also, we've seen a big increase in private coaching and private instruction. And again, not that any of those things are bad, because I frankly don't think they are, and I use them for my own kids. But it is something that has kind of changed, and I think in some ways put maybe more pressure on kids and more pressure on parents. So just to kind of give a rundown of the assignments that you'll need to do this week. And before I do that, just make a quick note. In summer, the weeks run a little differently, just given the calendaring and such. So our weeks actually start on Wednesday and end on Tuesday. So for the most part, your assignments will generally be due by Tuesday night at 11:59. For your initial discussion posts and your initial tweets, the deadline for those is Saturday. And I'll definitely remind you of that as we go throughout the week. So just remember our weeks run from Wednesday through Tuesday. So this week you're going to be answering 2 discussion forum questions. The first one has to deal with the notion of parents kind of basing their worth as a parent based on how their kid performs in youth sports. And I think that really brings up some very interesting points and things to discuss. Just in my experience, I do see a lot of parents, and I'm frankly guilty of it, I think, in some ways as well, who, kind of get a lot of status from their kid doing well. So, that's my kid who made the game-winning shot, or that's my kid who hit a home run. And there is some, there's some social capital or some credibility that comes along with that as a parent. I think at the same time, that can also then make you kind of put a lot of pressure on your kids to do well. And I know there's been times where I've probably definitely crossed the line with my own kids in terms of getting on them or getting mad at them because they didn't perform well. I'll give you one quick story of that. I have a younger son who plays baseball, and there was a game where I basically told him that he was not to strike out looking. Again, shouldn't have done this, and I have the benefit of hindsight here, but, at the time, I just, wanted to make sure he was up there not just looking at pitches. So anyway, we went to the game, and he did strike out looking at the pitch, and so after the game, I took him down to the baseball field, and we hit for probably an hour and a half after the game, which, I will say my wife was not very happy with me after that. But there are those kind of stories, and I think one kind of phrase that I've heard used is the car ride home. So what kind of happens in the car ride home with parents and kids? And I think in many ways, parents do those things because of how they think others are viewing them. So, I think as a parent, we derive a lot of our status from how our kids play. And I think it's important, and something I'm really interested to hear you all talk about is, that it's great to be involved, and I think you can definitely be seen as a good parent through being involved and being supportive of your kid. And I would argue that's better than not being involved at all. But at the same time, you can also cross some lines and boundaries, and that's one of the things I want you to address in the post. In the second discussion forum, you're going to be going online and finding a story about parent behavior at youth sports, and there are many, many to choose from. So you're going to go find a story, and then in the discussion forum, you'll post a link to the story, describe kind of what happened, and say a few things about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you are able to come up with in your internet searching for that. Also, you'll need to find a story, and this is separate from the one you share in the discussion forum, so you need to find something relating to youth sports culture and share that through the COMM 428 hashtag. So that could be a story, that could be a video, that could be an article or an essay, and there's lots of resources out there. If you follow me on Twitter, or if you follow the course hashtag, I'll be sending some along. I'll put a few Twitter accounts in an announcement that will kind of let you know some folks who tweet a lot about youth sports issues, so that you might want to consider following them as well. But definitely let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to get a hold of me by email or Twitter. And again, just really looking forward to this week. Excited to hear your thoughts on youth sports culture, and I will talk to you later. Thanks.